Okay, so now we're going to go into the pica. Like I said earlier, I am a little bit heavier than I thought I would. I might actually take a couple things out of here, but this is what I got packed up right now. Of course, if I'm like anybody out there, you probably pack and repack 10 different times, and I've probably already done it 20. So this is fairly waterproof, this Revelate Pica. I've actually put some more waterproof on it, but I had a smaller, really tiny other little dry bag, so I'm doing that just as a precaution. So I've got a few things inside this little dry bag, inside my Pica. So we'll just pull out a few things. I got an extra bandana. I've got a bike cap just in case it gets warm enough that I want to take off my 45 North. This is actually, I'm using a bunch of little, I've got some Arco bags that hold waterproof covers, but I'm using these to just kind of hold my gear separately so I can get at it easily. This, I've got another cap, Mountain Hardwear cap, just in case I get so wet with my other one or I need something dry. That's in there. I've also got some Gore Windstopper gloves if the mittens get old and it's not raining. I want to kind of get out of that and have some more dexterity. Again, I hate to double up on gear, but hey, a pound, maybe 2 extra pounds, and I'm just completely fine with it. If I can keep warm and keep going, I'm not going to go out with any hypothermia mechanical. If I can get the rest of this stuff out. So this is what that other little dry bag looks like. I have, not 100% sure I'm going to take this, but this is a Bike Iowa thermal jersey from Primal. It's a little bit bulky. I've got plenty of gear, so I'm really debating on taking this, but again, it doesn't take up that much room, and I think if the rain and everything gets really nasty, that might come in handy. This is kind of a little what if package. It's just in a Ziploc bag. I've got a really lightweight windproof little tiny jacket. I've got a buff. I've got another little hat, and I've got a pair of wool socks. Just kind of a lighter thing. Don't think I'm going to need those, but again, a couple ounces, what the heck, I'm taking them. And the last thing I'm taking that I might not take is these sealskin gloves. And I actually got these right after Land Run, but these are also sealskin. They're just like the socks that I was wearing. And the thing I had me at the Land Run is I kept getting water running down and it ran into my gloves. You know, ran through, and I couldn't do this. So I was looking for some waterproof gloves with a long gauntlet here. So the jacket go over here. They're kind of neoprene-y. They are definitely waterproof. You can submerge them underwater, no problem. They're a little warm if you wear them, and the wool on the outside kind of gets wet, so you can actually wring your hands out and the water will fall from there. But I think if push comes to shove, this is going to be a nice piece of gear if you truly need it. The thing that gets me is I get a little warm in here if I got my rain jacket down here. It's just a little much here with my with my wool base layer on. So again, not something I'm planning on using, but again, it doesn't take up hardly any room to take, and we'll see if I. So if anybody knows me, they know I'm a bagger. Like if you look at Ragbag or anything, I mean, I bag out. I always got 4 bags on my bike. It's just hard for me. I'm a what if guy. So once the frame bags started coming out on the gravel side, and the bike packing stuff, pretty much every bike I has a frame bag on it now. So no different with TI. I like the way the center of gravity is low. I love this new one with the 2 pockets. So I got a pocket up here with a hydration pack, tools, and some other gear down here. And I like the space here because if I really need to just pick up the bike and hop over something real fast, it's got a handhold here. And it also holds my pump in here. I've got a Lenzyme, like a little floor pump that fits in perfect here. Just got one little Velcro strap. It's going no place. I've ridden thousands of miles with that pump sitting there. I did wrap it in plastic this time. I usually got it wrapped in a sock cloth, and just to kind of keep the water off of it. Top bag. I've got a soft hydration pack. I'll put some Nun tablets in here just with some water. Maybe I'll stop, have a Coke, put a Coke in here, a Gatorade, something I can grab and go. I like it soft-sided because the more I drink out of it, the smaller it gets and the less space it takes up. So that's in there. And then I've got military grade Camelback. So it's a 70-ounce Camelback. You can see the new Camelbacks are nice and cylindrical, and it's got a insulated water tube for in the summertime, but fits perfectly in there. Runs up through the hydration pack. They got a hole in here for the hydration pack. Runs all the way up through here, and it just kind of hangs there, no problem. I can actually sit up pretty straight and actually drink from it. Shut off valve, but I've been carrying water bottles in here the whole year so far, but I only get, what, 16, 32 ounces, and now I got 70 ounces in the same amount of space, plus I've got a soft-sided one that I can fill up with other types of liquids. So I'm real happy with that setup. On the bottom, I've actually got this charger that actually runs up through here and runs my GPS. It'll run my GPS for 2, maybe even 3 days. I've definitely left it on for 2 days. So definitely on a race like Trans Iowa, the normal GPS won't, you know, it'll run out of battery before the race does. So that's sitting down there. Just some, it's called a portion pack, little tiny Ziploc bags that work great. And I just took rubber bands around there. Not planning on getting submerged, but there's not going to be any water that's going to get in there. Inside here, I've got some more Ziploc bags, just with some scratch slabs for my water bottles, a few salted nut rolls and some nuts. And we've got some Nun tablets. I've got toilet paper. You never know. Have never had to use it, but once I need it. And here I just carry a Leatherman and a multi-tool. Don't leave home without those. Always come in handy, especially get a multi-tool with a chain breaker. Definitely need that. I've just got some Surly straps just in case something happens. You got to strap up, takes up no room. I've mixed some extra chamois butter in here. When you're all wet and everything, you tend to chafe a little bit more, so I'm taking a few more of these than I normally do. I'm tubeless on my Nano 40s, but again, you never know. I'm taking 2 tubes. Haven't had any problems with these. They've got brand new sealant in there. Thank you, Bike World. And that should be good for that. I've also got a little, almost like a first aid pouch. I had some Band-Aids, some moleskin, stuff like that. Some extra rubber bands in case I need to strap anything down. All in Ziplocs, all planning on for the worst. And I've got this real handy thing. It's a little, like a water bottle cutoff. Rasmussen sells these. A lot of bike shops sell these, but waterproof. This is just kind of a what-if bag. If I have flats, if I break a chain, spoke. So just an oil rag. I got a few little plastic gloves here in case I got to work on a greasy chain. I don't want my hands all, greasy. I got patch kits. I got a ton of patches in here just in case need to do that. Tire levers. We'll go over this in a second. Just a bunch of zip ties. Never know. I've got sure as hell ain't Visine, but it's chain lube. It's going to be nasty out there for that. I've got a fiber spoke, soft spoke deal. Not sure if it quite get it to work, but I've always carried it. I think it come in handy if you need to. I've got some tire boot kind of rubber straps in here. Another little thing of chain lube. I've got a little Allen wrench. There's a funky little bolt on the bar yak that Joe is using for a while. He's not using those anymore, but I got a special thing for that. I got a valve core tool in case I need to take out the core on my tubeless tires. I've got a lighter with just rubber bands, duct tape, electrical tape, just kind of a what if bag. Some more little rubber straps and a spoke wrench for these wheels. What are they? Ultegra wheel set. And in here, just kind of a little what if bag. Again, probably more than I need to take, but this is what makes me comfortable. And this is what I'll continue to use. I've carried this pretty much every place, and of course when you're carrying all the stuff you don't end up needing it, but I got anywhere from cleats to cores to crank bolts to Crank Brothers pedal bearings, some extra chain, some other bolts, some cleat bolts. So just kind of a little menagerie of stuff. And it might not be for me either that this is being used for. It might be, you know, somebody I'm with, and this might help them out. So keeps us all on the road. What I got in my feed bags here. I got 2 feed bags. Left feed bag, all I'm going to have is goos and salted nut rolls and a little bit of large bars. I got a few more up front. I got a couple salted nut rolls we pulled out of my bottom, but this is just what I'm going to grab out of. It's just what I've learned to eat on the bike. Works out pretty well. On the left here, I have some Carmex, which I keep the top off, so I can, as I'm rolling, I can just do the lips, so when my lips get dry, this is what I like. And then I got a little tiny thing of eye drops. So if I stop real fast, definitely can't put them on while I'm riding, but easily they stay there. It's all good. The end doesn't really get all dirty and everything like that, and it's just the way I've been riding for a long time. On the other side, if anybody knows me, they know I like some music when I ride. So this is this little, what is it? It's called, what, Exion? All metal, comes apart in about 20 different pieces. After a land run, I still got some red dirt on there, but this is covered. I mean, I had to soak it, take it apart. Still worked. I've actually got plastic on it right now, but we'll see how this, I've used it underneath, but it actually works out pretty decent. And it actually sounds better when it's in the feed bag. It actually pulls a little bit of bass, but lasts 20 plus hours easily. I can turn it down to virtually nothing, just where I can hear it, or I can turn it up where people can hear. Then I'm taking these 2 empty Nun things. There's nothing in there right now, but one of these are waterproof, by the way. I held them overnight and nothing leaked through there. So I'm going to put ibuprofen and a few caffeine pills and a couple Claritins in there in one. And then the other one's probably going to be full of sport legs. Firm believer in both those, so I'll take those, and that should be enough to get me through. On the bottom here, I've got another bandana and one of those portion packs, just in case the day goes on and need something dry to wipe off some things. That's in there. The other side I'll use for the little netting, I'll just use for trash on goo, and then when I stop, I get rid of that. So the last thing we got is this front bag. As I said earlier, was not going to take it, but I don't like everything crammed so tight. So I appreciate bags, and I appreciate things that's a little separated. So this is that Revel 8 kind of a front bag that's supposed to go on the sweet roll, I said. It's got 2 pockets on the side here. I carry a little MSR. I use that it's a really hard bristled brush to wash off the chain if I need to. It gets really nasty. And then if I need to get anything, you know, if the spatula's not taken off, I can use that. So that's on one pocket. And literally on the other pocket, I'm actually carrying pepper spray this time. I've had a couple of dog encounters this year. This weighs nothing. Might actually help if I'm all by myself, you know, out in the middle of no place. Dogs come running out. There's a couple almost got me the other day. I actually was fast enough where I could outrun them, but you get 200 miles on your legs, you ain't outrunning, you know, any mean dog. So anyway, that might come in handy. And in the front, as I mentioned, some of this is overkill, but for the weight and everything, and just the unknowns of TI, I'm taking it. In here, there's some lens wipes. Kind of learned that on land run. There was nothing clean to wipe off anything, so I got my lenses all scratched up, top of my GPS. So a few lens wipes and some Oakley lens cleaners. And in here I got my tinted lenses for my Oakley sunglasses. I'm going to carry my wallet and money in this waterproof plastic thingamajig. I think Chuck Fairbanks got this one day, something for on the boat. We kind of used to carry it on the bagger bikes. That'll work. I've got some extra goo in here. I've got some extra large bars, salt and nut rolls. I may not take as much as I got in there right now, but just kind of wanted to pack it up. And then, this is kind of an oddball bag, but I'm going to probably take it just one big ass bag. There's several different, and I'm probably going to new Ziploc baggie now. But I've got a spare light that I can actually charge the battery that's on my headlamp. This is just a shell that I can put the charger on. I've got a pretty good size charger from Samsung. This is probably the only charger I need, but it doesn't look very waterproof, so I'm actually taking a couple more just to be safe. That's a little heavy, but oh well, to have lights and charge. And then just some extra cables. You never know when that GPS cable might get too wet. And then just like a plug-in just in case things get cold and I can't run with it. And another just a little battery just in case I need it. Weighs nothing. Just makes me feel comfortable with it. And that I should have charge all the way through. I'll probably put my phone in here too, put it on airplane mode, and just kind of so I can have it